the Mayweather-Canelo fight. And I wrote an article that said, I think this will be the last big fight. I think MMA has taken over. Dan Rayfield from ESPN said he disagrees and said that boxing is not dead. Can you talk about what is your opinion on, I really believe that MMA has taken over and boxing will be gone. What are you guys' thoughts, Bjorn, and then anyone else? Thank you.
Well, that's a big question. I think that MMA's prevalence right now, objectivity speaks and numbers don't lie, and ratings in mixed martial arts far surpass ratings in boxing. There is no real ratings mechanism in boxing anymore because boxing doesn't have a home per se, other than what ESPN2 does on a Friday night basis for consistency of boxing programming. And MMA does. Obviously, Fox is supporting it to a large extent through their relationship with the UFC, and Viacom supports it through their relationship with us on Spike. So we get a consistent roll of ratings, which beat boxing ratings very handedly. Attendance at live events on a consistent basis beat boxing very handedly. International distribution of events beats boxing very handedly. Sponsorship dwarfs boxing. I mean, the sponsorship you see inside of our cage with the Dave & Buster's of the world and the Victory and the Miller Lite and the like, there's no comparison to what is supporting boxing. And also it's fed by a demographic of young, predominantly male consumers, where boxing is fed by a socioeconomically depressed group of consumers that skew much older. I don't mean to get like too hyper-technical with you, but the bottom line is this, sorry. Went into hardcore sponsorship pitch for a second. The reality of it is this. Boxing is all geared toward one mega event. And boxing feeds itself through a matchmaking formula where the entirety of the sport is reliant upon guys winning 22, 25, 32 fights before they're considered to be real fighters. And if you look up at this table, there's a lot of guys with a lot of L's behind their name when you look at the wins and the losses, and yet they're still spectacularly talented world-class fighters.
What a speaker.
He just lost to Pat Curran 3 fights ago. That doesn't mean he's not one of the greatest featherweights in mixed martial arts, and we accept that in MMA. You look at Randy Couture's record, and if you looked at that record in boxing, he would be an opponent playing in the Midwest circuit, and yet he was one of the greatest mixed martial artists we've ever had in the game. So there's a substantive reality to what we do in MMA that boxing just doesn't have. And boxing plays to the one huge event that comes around once a year or once every 18 months, whereas MMA can consistently fuel the machine because it's true sports competition. So, I mean, that's a long answer to a short question, but I think that's a problematic aspect for boxing as it continues to try to survive as a viable sport, because you can't survive on 1.75 million pay-per-view mega event every 15 months. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make for a viable business.
There we go.
And for those media members, we thank you for your question.
That's how you explain it.
Bjorn will go.
I love it.